Good afternoon, my dear students. Today I am going to continue the story Discovering Tut. The first part of this chapter I shared late in the evening yesterday. It was due to network problem. So please watch the video clip and read the textbook also for better understanding of the story. This story is also actually talking about the traditional approach and traditional lifestyle and belief of Egyptian. But actually this is the one side, but the second side is that the story highlights the importance of science and its use, the advancement of human being. This is another matter that the narrator has highlighted. The one Paroha, one prince, and his lifestyle, about his apron, about his clothing, about his jewelries, about his food, and about his tradition, culture, and everything. But actually, in this story, the narrator has tried to highlight the importance of scientific invention. So, in first um explanation, I had given you a list of some scientific equipments, some short form acronym. So you please learn them all. And some of the words I have already explained in the previous one. So you please see that now I am reading this and going to explain according to need of the explanation. All afternoon, the usual line of tourists from around the world had descended into the cramped rock-cut tomb some 26 feet underground to pay their respects. Actually, all were gathered there. Many tourists had come in order to pay their respect. They wanted to see everything. You might have seen pyramids. I keep on just telling you this about this. This was the Egyptian culture. So they have a strong belief in life and even life after death and everything. So that's why the family members used to place all the equipments, all the objects, all the attires, all the clothes, all the food items, that all are made of either with pure gold or pure silver, so that they can use after death, the another life they are going to have. This kind of thing was there. So the government is actually trying to dig it out and take the treasure in their possession. So here actually the narrator is trying to highlight then one uh, archaeologist is there, and who is trying to find out the cause of his death under the spell of under the advancement of science. And he is using CT scan, computer tomography, in order to inspect the cause of his death. We have so many instruments in science that can find out with the help of that objects. We can find out the age of a human being, age of a tree. Okay, like dendrography. This is a kind of measuring instrument that can find out the age of a tree. So this is very nice invention. And this is a very nice advancement of science. So I am reading. They gazed at the murals on the walls of the burial chamber and peered at Tut's gilded face, the most striking feature of his mummy shaped outer coffin lid. Means all the tourists were looking at inside the graveyard, and the murals. Actually it was, as I said, that it was just like a grave, just like a well shaped, or just like a house shaped underground basement, in which the walls were very nicely painted, and some images or some kind of decorations were also there. And on the floor, in the basement, some cornflowers and some flowers and cereals were placed. So this shows that that the death of the Tut was in the month of either March or in April. So these things they are giving us, okay, in detailed explanation. So he is telling that actually after the so many years, after the passage of the so many years, the gold has gilded, okay, and it has hardened in the ground. It was melted and it has solidified, okay, in the ground. And it was very difficult for the archaeologists to cut it, okay, and take it out from the graveyard for CT scan. So what did they do there? They are just cutting the coffins of Tut, actually Tut, to just take the body out, okay, for CT scan. So here mummy, I have already explained, mummy is a kind of, a kind of process of preserving a human body. They just take out the internal organs and use some kind of liquid in order to just keep the body, okay, for long use. And even I gave you references of some Egyptian, museum, and even in Patna museum, one body is there, human body is there. In Egyptian museum, one body is there that is supposed to be more than 5,000 years back. Okay, that body is 10 feet long. So it is considered on that time the height of the people were 10 feet. Like this kind of we have some references and evidences. So others stood silently, perhaps pondering Tut's untimely death in his late teens, or wondering with a shiver if the Perwa's curse, death, or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him was really true. And now the narrator is giving speaking uh, the thoughts of the people, okay, the the beliefs of the people who were gathered, who were just sended there, okay, in order to have a look of the Paroha. He is telling here that they were just thinking that he might be cursed, okay, and that's why he died at a very tender age. And uh, and some are just thinking and just wondering about anything, okay, and everything. The mummy is in a very bad condition, okay, because of what Carter did in the 90s 20. The condition of mummy means the dead body, okay, was in very bad condition. Why? Because in 1920, Carter, the archaeologist, tried to take out the body out of the graveyard for the CT scanner, for the taking the. Actually, he was not for taking the body outside from the graveyard for the CT scan, but he was more interested in, okay, in have possessing all the valuable objects of the graveyard, okay, the treasures, the wealth. And that's why he tried to cut the body, but he was not successful in that. And because of that, the mummies were in very bad condition, said Jahi Hawass, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, as he leaned over the body for a long first look. Carter, this is that is what the British archaeologist who is 1922 discovered Tut's tomb after years of futile searching. This example I had given you. This was the time of uh, uh, finding old objects, and in Bihar we have Nalanda library. That was also found by one of the British archaeologists. Okay, so they were just scavenging, just finding out the ancient objects. So the I'm forgetting the name of the British archaeologist who had just found the trace of Nalanda Museum, Nalanda Library, the almost same age or same decades. Okay, 1932 or between 1920 to 1940. So same case was there. Okay, all the British archaeologists were searching old things, old objects. Its content thought hastily ransacked in antiquity were surprisingly complete. They remain the richest royal collection ever found and have become part of the Paroa's legend. Means that was the richest collection. Means they found a good amount of gold and jewelry from the graveyard. Stunning artifacts in gold, their eternal brilliance mean to guarantee resurrections, caused a sensation at the time of discovery. Means when his tomb was found, okay, in 1920, and when his graveyard was started digging out, okay, uh, so they found a very rich collection of gold, and it was a big sensation for the state or for the people, okay. So and still get the most attention, but that was also buried with everyday things he had want in the afterlife. This is their belief. See what are the things: board games, a brazier, a bronze razor, line undergarments, cases of food and wine. I think these things I had tried to explain in the first part, but I missed that. Okay, so these were the objects. This may be one question: what were the elements were found in the graveyard of uh, the Peroha or the Prince Tut. So these are the objects. After months of carefully recording the Peroha funerary treasures, this is funerary treasures that I have given, means that the valuable objects of the dead that belongs to the dead man, the dead objects that is Tut. Carter began investigating his three nested coffins. He was initially telling that the coffin was in very bad condition, okay, because it was cut into pieces. So he's telling that the coffin was into three pieces: head, bust, okay, and then the leg side. Opening the first, he found a shroud. Shroud means a kind of cloth that is wrapped uh, uh, around the dead body, adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves, wild celery, okay, lotus petals, and cornflowers. The faded evidence of burial in a March or April. This shows that the death of the prince was in the month of March or in April, because of this evidence. Okay, willow and olive leaves and lotus petals and cornflowers. Cornflower, I think, is the most important evidence. When he finally reached the mummy, means the dead object's dead body, thou he ran into trouble. Ran into trouble means he was stuck in very serious problem. The ritual's resins had hardened. Resins means a kind of objects or substance, we can say that, had hardened, cementing Tut to the bottom of his solid gold coffin. As I said that due to the passage of long time, the body and the gold shrouds, okay, the golden plates had hardened or cemented, okay, in the ground, and it was very difficult for the archaeologists to take out the body. Means it has become the part of nature, okay, it has become the part of the place. So he was means it has stuck with that, okay, hardened, cemented like that. No amount of legitimate force could move them. Carter wrote later, means he was giving all the explanation, okay, in detail what was to be done. The sun can beat down like a hammer. This for south in Egypt, means they are trying to hit with lightning or with the rays of the sun in order to warm up the gold, and then they will use, I think, hammer or any cutting objects. They will cut with some instrument, but see what happens then. And Carter tried to use it, okay, to loosen the resins. It was tried initially. The sun rays were used, okay, to just loosen its grip to so that it could be cut and taken it out. For several hours, he set the mummy, okay, outside in blazing sunshine that heated it to 149 degree Fahrenheit. Nothing buzzed, means nothing happened, means he was unable to take it off from the graveyard. He reported with a scientific detachment that the consolidated material had to be chiseled. Chiseled means here refers to cut in order to take out from the graveyard, away from beneath the limbs and trunk before it was possible to raise the king's remains. Means without cutting the mummy, okay, or the coffins, it would be very much difficult to take the remains, okay, the coffin out of the graveyard, because it has cemented. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. If he had not cut the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have circumvented the guards and ripped it apart to remove the gold. Means he is trying to say that if he had not cut the mummy, okay, into pieces, it might have been taken by the, uh, thieves, fooling the guards or just hitting the guards. Like this, he's trying to say. In Turt's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy and they thought or hoped that they could take their riches with them. This was their belief, okay. On that time, we have also source of, some myths, or we can say religious texts in form of Ramayana and Mahabharata, in which we can see, okay, that all the royals were used to wear, golden attire and golden plates and what bracelet, rings, means they were very wealthy, fabulously wealthy, and that's why they used to wear a kind of clothes that shows their wealth. So see, King Tut was lavished with glittering golds, precious colors, inlaid necklace and bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, okay, sandals, sets for his fingers and toes, and the now iconic inner coffin and mask. There, all of pure gold. To separate Tuts from his adornment, Carter's men removed the mummy head and served nearly every major joint. Severed nearly means separated. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains, okay, on a layer of sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage. The bedwetters now rest, okay. Archaeology has changed, okay, substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life and intrigue, mysteries of death. This is his defense. He's telling that when it was found in 1922 or 1920, it was on that time they were very much concerned about wealth, but now in 2005 we are very much concerned about the cause of the death. Okay, this is his defending statement, because I think no gold, there is no trace of wealth there, okay, now. So that's why he is telling like this, that we are very much concerned about the scientific approach of inspecting the cause of the death than to the wealth or the or that or or the treasures of the uh, grave or the prince. It also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. In 19, this is now he's telling the advancement of medical science. In 1968, more than 40 years after Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor means ones who just take care of internal structure of human body or animals, so like lungs, kidney, like this, x-ray the mummy and revealed a startling facts. See, what was the startling facts? A very amazing, surprising, okay, sensational. Beneath the regions that casket, his chest, his breastbone and front ribs are missing. Now, this was the startling facts. What were the startling facts about the CT scan? So, the CT scan shows that the Paroha, see, about it was not diluted, okay, still the bone was there. More after 3000 years back, 3300 years back, this history was there, and still CT scan is able to find out everything, okay. And now in this discovery, they find out that the one backbone, okay, and something is missing from his body. Today, diagnostic images can be, okay, done with computer tomography or CT scan, by which hundreds of X-rays in sections are put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. This is the importance of science. Now he's talking about what more would be a CT scan reveal of TUT than the X-rays. Now X-rays is there, and could it answer two of the biggest question still? What are the two biggest question lingering about him, means still delayed? How did he die and how old was he at the time of his death? Two questions are there. At the time of his death, what was his age, and how he died, what was the cause of his death? So this they are just trying to find out. King Tut's demise was a big event, okay, even by royal standards. He was the last of his family's line, and his funeral was the death rattle of a dynasty. Means his death was very much important, okay, for the citizens, for the countrymen to find out, because he was the last Paroha, okay, last king. We have dynasty system, okay. We had in India, but it is no longer exist. So we had, okay, in our neighboring country, Nepal. So now it in 2010, before 2010, they have just merged their kingship, okay, and in place of king, they are now president and prime ministers. Japan is also having same kind of things there, but they have also merged their. Uh, they are also just practicing democracy. So these things are there. Like still, this sort of practice is there in Bhutan. They also they still practice the kingship. Uh, royal royal used to rule the states and country, but now in India we don't have America, USA, UK, Australia, Canada. They don't have in all the European nations. This is the type of government you will see in political science. Those you have read in class 9th and 10th. This was the way of governing a system or a country. So that was his last means actually Tut was the last prince of the particular uh, dynasty, particular powerful dynasty. So the countrymen during his lifetime and in this modern time wanted to know, okay, about his death, the cause of his death, and the age of the prince while when he died. So these things they are trying to find out with the help of science or medical equipments. So you'll see, okay, what happens in the next. But the particulars of this his passage away, okay, and his aftermath are unclear, and these are not clear yet. So you'll see in the next paragraph, you will write an article in 150 or 200 words, the increasing crime rate in today's society and ways to curb it. Okay, you will explain it in an article form. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and please listen. Okay, do listen both the video clip